Good afternoon. Here's a message about three types of people that you do want to avoid because they are a detriment to our relationship with Christ. Your relationship with Christ. There's a lot of different types of people that you want to avoid, but I'm just going to give you a handful today. The first type is those lazy manipulators. People that are just lazy in general and that don't want to make a change in that. Idle hands are the devil's hands. Those who sit and expect it all to come to them are wrong. Some people may start out, you may have an innocent friend that they were sold a raw deal, or they don't have a good financial system, or, their parents are divorced or things, and then, they just need a little help. I'll tell you about an example of my friend. And I'm not saying that those bad people, I'm getting to my point here. I'm talking about my friend that I helped. He was similar to this. And he, I've been helping him for a lot of years with projects and, for school. And I've given him money for stuff. And then up until recently, and I realized he was just using me. There's people that you as Christians, we like to help people. Okay, the feeling of helping someone who can't even hope to repay you back is a very good feeling. We are to help others, focus on God, and we help others, then we focus on ourselves. So helping others is a great thing to do. However, if those others that you are helping begin to, when they are able to at least make a change for their situation and help themselves to not need your help anymore, and then they can go help others, but they choose not to because they are too lazy, and instead they freeload off of your help, and you think you're helping them, but you're not, because they have a chance to make a change, but they're change their situation, go get a job, go get their own money, get their own food, and make a change, but they don't because they're too lazy. That's what this friend was doing. Now, I was able to change this friend. I told him, I actually didn't tell him about him using me, but I had recently, because he finally woke up to it before I even told him, but I realized one night he was just using me. But I had been telling him before that, you need to go get a job and get your own money and make a change for yourself. And he did, and I think ever since he met me, that's been kind of happening inside of him. He's been realizing maybe the way I am isn't cutting it anymore, because he's just one of those people who was, kind of playing the victim card. I haven't had a good childhood, or, something, and that's not something that anybody should ever have used against them, but eventually it's not going to work out anymore. You can't play that card all life and expect pity from people. I think he kind of realized that, and now he's working at a local restaurant, and it may not be much, but at least he's having a concept of losing that laziness and getting a job. But anyway, I'm talking about the people that continue to be lazy, that are around you, that they want everything for nothing. Well, that has never been more false than it is today. You cannot get anything for nothing. Nothing is free today. Not everything comes at a price, except your faith in Jesus Christ. Going and embracing Jesus Christ is really the only thing that is free today, because he has already paid for you to do that on the cross. But anyway, these people that are overly lazy and they expect you to do everything for them. Well, you're not their maid. God isn't their maid either. They need to make something happen so that they can get stable. And, say this to them, but through the gospel, through God. And they may refuse to hear that. So continue to pray for them, but if they refuse you, you need to back away from them, because they will just drag you down, and they will just be the ruination of you. So continue to pray for them that they get out of this habit and back away. Those people are very dangerous. Like I said, idle hands are the devil's hands. So those types of people are dangerous and detrimental to your faith. The second type of person, anyone, whether it's a friend, family member, something, who is related to the occult in any way, whether it be satanic worship, fortune telling, any form of divination, looking into the stars to see the future, astrology, witchcraft, any of that stuff that involves trying to give yourself more power so that you can become like a personal God when there's only one supreme God. That does not work. That is a complete abomination to the Lord. That is one of the biggest abominations. So, those people are very dangerous. If they are dragging you into that stuff, you need to come to this realization and you need to get out of that. You need to try to help them as well. Hey, this stuff is not good. Quote the scriptures, give them the gospel. Most occultists, they will refuse to hear the gospel on one of this question that I'm about to say being one of their major grounds for rebuking the gospel and going against it, because they don't know the answer to this question. And that is, if God is all good and he's all righteous, then why does he allow bad things to happen? Well, I'm going to answer this question for them and then hope that you may transfer this answer to them, and this may help them out as they think about it more. Because it is our duty as Christians to at least try to help someone who is descending into sin, and we, as a team, a Christian team, we raise each other up and get us back on the right path. So this is what they may ask. So if they asked that, why is bad things allowed to happen? So we go back to Genesis, the Garden of Eden. God created Adam and Eve, man and woman. Now, upon creating them, he gave them free will, the choice between good and bad. He didn't create them to be robots that did everything that he said for them to do, and everything was good and things like that. He created them in his own image, just like he had free will to create the universe and all the beautiful things that are in it. So they had the choice between the evil thing, and he would place exams in the path to test their faith. Which will they choose? And that was in the form of the serpent or the devil. So in the Garden of Eden, they have the choice between the serpent's temptation, eat this fruit and I will make you as gods, or choose the Lord and serve him. The Lord gave them specific instructions, do not eat of this fruit. Well, this always seems tempting to do the bad, but this is also very easy, just as easy to take the right way. And that's what the Lord was saying. They have two very easy to take choices. Which path would they choose? Well, obviously they chose the serpents, and they ate of the fruit. And they ate that, and then God said, now you shall be put to death because you chose. You shall be destroyed now because, well, not completely destroyed, but because you have disobeyed me, now you will live your entire life. You will have to toil for everything. So now all man, ever since all the generations since Adam and Eve, we are born with sin at conception. We sin all the time, but we have the choice between the Lord and to keep doing that sin, and we have to choose. And so we are now descendants of them. We are all born with that sin. We all make mistakes. So if he's all good, then why does he allow that to happen? Because he gave us free choice. We have the choice to choose whether we're going to kill someone, murder someone, rape someone, steal from them, commit adultery, steal from our neighbor, have idols before God. We all choose that. The devil can't force anything upon us because he's controlled by God. He is sent out to test our faith in the Lord, to give us to see what we will choose. But he can't force stuff on us. We have to take it. No matter how easy it may seem, it is just as easy to accept the light of Christ than it is to take that from the devil. And so, basically, when the Lord said, or when the devil said, I shall make you as gods, that's what the occultists believe in. Being a personal God. That's why they celebrate their birthdays the most of any other things. That's why birthdays are, considered maybe a detrimental holiday to the Christian faith, because the occultists celebrate it to raise themselves up. It's all about me on this day. And we are personal gods. We have power over all of humanity, and we shall use that to manipulate them. Well, no, you don't. You're not the top dog. The Lord in heaven commands all in everything. He is supreme over everything, the occultists are not. But that's why they are very dangerous, because they worship an idol before God, and that is the idol of this world. So you tell them that he allows bad things to happen because he gave us free choice, because he is a merciful God. And he isn't just a robot that tells us what to do and we just zoom around this way, go that way, I go that way, turn around, go back. We just mindlessly do everything. He didn't want that. He wanted us to have a conscience and have choices. And if they refuse to believe you, and just give them some time to think. Sometimes people today, they hear the gospel and they just reject it at all costs. But then they think about it, and then some people come. So just give them a chance. Continue to pray for them. But if they refuse at all costs and they try to drag you down into that occultist, that witchcraft, whatever it is, you need to back away and wash your hands of them. No matter how good friends you were with them before, they are not your friend. They are your enemy. And you need to stay away from them. And continue to pray for them that they find salvation. Because they will have the chance at salvation as long as they are on this earth. But anyway, those are pretty much the most dangerous people in this thing. And another thing you may be asking is, what if it's a family member? I can't just cut my family out of my life, especially if I'm younger and I'm still living with my parents or something. Well, here's what you need to do. You need to be your interactions with that family member sparingly, especially if they're one of these dangerous type of people. Limit your interaction. Maybe if they are sitting at a certain table, don't go over there. Continue to pray for them. Have compassion for them deep down. Don't, disrespect them yourself. No matter how evil the person is, they do not deserve disrespect. God loves them still, but you shall pray for them. But that doesn't mean that you embrace what they do. Maybe limit your interactions with them. If they're trying to do things, just, back away. Obviously you can't shove them out and say you're rebuked from this family or whatever. They might change eventually, but they might not. But limit your interactions with them. And, just stay wary, stay conscious, have that convicted conscience in you of what is right and what is wrong, and know what choices you're going to make. So that answers that question. And the third and final person that I'm going to talk about today, and there's a lot more than this, like I said, but I'm just covering a few today, is the hypocrites. They say one thing, and they turn 180 degrees, and they do something else. The exact opposite of what the bad thing they're rebuking is. And this is very present in the churches today. Very dangerous, because a church that is considered a stronghold, a safe haven of the Lord's presence, is not safe today. It has been infiltrated by the enemy, very in depth. There's a lot of hypocrites in the churches today that, somebody walks in, that's what they're wearing today. That's what they chose to wear today. Look at how they're dressed. Or, Lord, please don't allow this person to come to church today. Please don't allow them to be there because I posted something on social media or something that they didn't like, and I'm afraid what they're going to say to me. Things like that. The Lord doesn't hear any of that. They try to put shields out before the Lord and lie to his face and say he doesn't see that. He looks at what's in your heart. He doesn't look at what's on the exterior. He doesn't hear your lies and your tales of don't let that person be here and what that person's wearing. God's not looking at what that person's wearing. He's looking at what's in their heart. If they are a true saved soul and they want to be there and hear his word, it doesn't matter what they're wearing. Now, obviously, you're going to church, it merits some, presentable appearance. You're not going to come naked or something, but, even if they're just wearing, like they have, rip in their pants or something, people criticize that today. You are no better than them. You are the same. We are all men and humans. We are idolaters. We are sinners, and we are all here for the same place. But these people are very dangerous because they just murmur all the time, complaining that person's doing that. And look at what that person's doing. I can't believe they're doing that. And then they use derogatory terms and swear words and things like that to describe them. And they kindle those things against them. And then they turn around and do the same thing. So they're no better. And so try to help these people. Try to be firm with them. This is not right what you're doing. And more than likely, they will criticize you and rebuke you and yell at you, and then you just need to back away. Wash your hands of that person, because that is very dangerous. They will, all these different types of people, they will drag you down into a deep mire, and you will forget about Christ, you will forget about all those things, and you will just sink and sink and sink. That's why you need to rise up and cut all of those things out of your life. But when I say this, I'm not talking about people who, just your friend who did a bad thing again, or, he says this bad word once, or, we're all sinners. We're all idolaters before God. We don't make the right choices all the time. I'm not saying cut your friends out because they made a bad decision. That's going to happen. But if these people are like this continuously, and they are negative all the time, and they're derogatory towards you, and mock your faith, and mock the Lord, and do all this stuff, then maybe you need to back away from them. And just things like that they do that are very detrimental, because they will pull you down with them. And, continue to pray for them. Have compassion for them. Have respect for them as God does. That they may be saved. But there's only so much you can do for them. They have to be the one who chooses God in the end. They can't ride up to heaven on Jesus' coattails. Well, they can, but they have to choose him first. They can't live in this and then live in that. They have to choose the two things. So I hope what I got to you today is that these types of people in your life, if you have them, try to help them. But if they refuse, leave, because they are very dangerous and detrimental to you. So with that being said, that is our message today. I know I'm not very well spoken because I do not plan these messages out. Perhaps in the future that might change. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's video.